The whole reason me and Dream's relationship fell apart is because he tried to get with my girlfriend.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. We've got a quick few things to address before we get into today's subject. Firstly, I do want to say I appreciate all the lovely comments about my cold yesterday. I do appreciate people being concerned and even arguing about it in the comments. That was, great to see. And I've got to say, I'm still suffering a bit with the cold. So, again, apologies for the voice. But I'm going to be transparent with you. I didn't think I would actually be making a video on the subject we're actually about to be speaking about. I thought this video would be more of a backup video if there was no other topics. I mean, there is no other topics currently going on that I want to cover, but this situation has actually got a little bit more juicy. So as you can clearly tell by the title and thumbnail, this video is about Dream. But what about Dream in specific? Well, TommyInnit and Jack Manifold recently on their Shut Up I'm Talking podcast actually referenced Dream quite a lot. Not that anyone would even know in the first place, because who is watching this podcast? And secondly, I mean, literally, who is watching this podcast? There's only 40,000 views on it, so, not many people would have seen this. This episode was with a guest called Dax Flame. Now, of course, like always, there is going to be mentions of the Dream SMP because it was such a huge part of TommyInnit and Jack Manifold's journey, which is completely understandable and reasonable to talk about.
Did you ever watch the Dream SMP or any of our videos?
No. I expected.
We at Stop Mule are reasonable people. We understand that this is of course going to come up, that this is of course just an innocent conversation, and that they are going to mention the Dream SMP. And even if they don't want Dream mentioning them, that they are ultimately going to mention something like the Dream SMP. Although that all goes out the window with this clip that directly follows that.
Harsh, yeah.
Except the face reveal.
You watched the face reveal, did you?
Or just like clips because it was so viral.
It was very viral. What did you think of his face?
I think it's very clear Jack Manifold's motivation and intention here when he's prodding him about, what did you think of Dream's face? What did you think of this reveal? Ultimately, this could have been a one and done sentence and just moved on, but it's very clear Jack Manifold is trying to stir the pot here, try and get a clip that is posted on social media to boost the podcast. Which, of course, everyone tries to do this type of thing to boost their own products, their own views, their own socials. That's the understandable bit. Of course, what's not understandable is these people have complained about Dream, constantly talking about them in the past, that they would like to move on, even though their drama, of course, what they've done during their drama is incredibly rocky, so I find this absolutely hilarious.
Just a normal face, but I think people were making fun of the angle that he was talking from, because I don't think he was used to. But I also don't know if that's like a touchy thing to talk about or something.
I think it'll be fine there.
Okay.
Jack brings it up a lot, so.
It does?
Jack brings it up a lot.
Oh, I thought you said that brings up a lot.
No.
It made you feel a lot of them.
It does bring up a little, but not a lot.
Why is this even a conversation in the first place? Why are we talking about Dream's face reveal in the big 2025? Of course, Dax Flame, right, that might be his only reference, he's going to mention that, but why is TommyInnit and Jack Manifold continuing the conversation and bringing up drama and stuff that happened, a couple of months ago that they have personally said they don't want anything to do with and they want to move on and grow as people?
You start some drama with someone.
Do that. You should do that.
That's okay.
We've had. I tell you what, Dax,
we've had our fair share of
we've had some drama recently with Logan Paul and also with Dream.
I mean, I wouldn't say recently, it was some time ago now, especially with Logan Paul, that was last year. The Dream stuff was a good few months ago now, so, none of this is recent drama, especially in internet terms, this is old stuff. Just think that after all TommyInnit and Jack Manifold and all these other people have said that they would just try their hardest not to bring up Dream in every single podcast, every single conversation, milk him to absolute fuck. So the next bit requires just a little bit of context, which will be kind of explained in the clip, but I want to make sure this is known, is that Dax, Jack, and Tommy were in the following clips trying to rage bait, right? Trying to clip farm, trying to say false things to get a reaction, get cut up clips. I mean, for God's sake, even TommyInnit gave his Twitter to Dax to tweet out something that was a complete lie.
Hey guys, that Tommy didn't really post that. I just did that as he said I could have permission to do a post on his account, and so they were like, what's something that would be dramatic? And they're like, crank it up to a level 9 or 10.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Yep, we're good. This is something that happens on loads of podcasts with friends, with guests. This is a pretty common thing to happen in videos as well. There's whole videos dedicated to this where, you tweet out complete lies on the other's account. This is completely normal. Now, the only problem with this is going to become very apparent when we look at this next clip.
Can you all give me a hint at what's a good drama thing?
Logan Paul and Dream I've had beef with.
Now, of course, the problem that is going to arise here, not so much with the Twitter post, which was going to be for TommyInnit here, is that if you have a video trying to bait drama and clip farm using Dream's name, is that lots of people are going to cut the context to the fact that this is all fake, this is all for fun, this is all joking, that none of this is real, this is all lies, blah, 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 blah. and just post a clip where they are saying said lie. So you'd like to think that Jack Manifold and TommyInnit would know their audiences well enough to know that these clips will probably get circulated around without context. I mean, probably that's maybe what they want, right? Is these clips to get circulated without context, because, you know, just a mention of Dream and controversy will spark up viewership and interest within this podcast episode and send people over. But of course, this is just going to cause lots of unnecessary shit towards Dream, because what they're about to say in the next clip, of course, is a joke, it's a lie or whatever, but people have been cutting up maliciously.
Maybe like some relevant person or something. Like,
Who's relevant?
maybe... Wait, so would your fans get really intrigued if you said something about Dream or something?
They probably would.
They would,
Dax
yeah.
Flame.
I mean, this just goes against all the things I previously said. You'd think as well that they wouldn't try and start more controversy or try and send more hate to Dream for no apparent reason. You'd think that maybe they'd shut the idea down and go, maybe that's not the best idea, we're trying to move on, right? Let's not keep mentioning Dream, let's not cause more issues for Dream when he's literally done nothing wrong. I get, of course, this is all in jest, this is all for fun or whatever, but they know what they're doing here by suggesting Dream or going along with the suggestion of Dream.
Very
You're
intrigued,
very-
especially Jack.
So if you said the thing that ruined me and Dream's relationship
Yeah.
was
This is a you and Jack one, not me.
that he tried to date my girlfriend.
There you go. I like that. Okay, all right.
You'd like to think that these people would realise that maybe we shouldn't do this, especially because with Jack Manifold in relation to Dream, a lot of the thing was about cheating and about relationships within the actual drama. So maybe you wouldn't say this, maybe you'd shut this down. Because it doesn't really matter what they're saying here. If this was anybody else, it really just wouldn't matter whatsoever. But it's the fact it's these two and they know exactly what's going to happen by doing this.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
You two go.
Okay. Oh, do you want to leave me in?
Yeah, or should
Okay.
it be something different?
No, that's fine. I think that's
fine.
good.
That's
I think
fine.
Should we choose a different topic?
No, I think we nailed it.
Okay.
I mean, Dax Flame even gave them an out there to just say, no, maybe let's not do this idea, yeah, let's change the topic. TommyInnit just said, yeah, seemed pretty happy about it, doesn't really care though. Realistically, this is going to get posted online and Dream's going to get a bunch of unnecessary hate because he knows this will get the podcast attention. So, you know, you come to your own conclusions. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this, but I think it's pretty apparent.
I don't know why I keep going to
It's good. No, because
to
you
that
know
topic,
you have
but-
that intuitive mind for viral clips that I just lack now.
Well, I never do drama stuff, but it's just kind of fun to do fake drama.
Yeah, this is great.
Since
I
you can
love
tell that
it's
you're
all
kidding.
pretend.
Okay. So, wow, that's really crazy drama. Cut this. But that's really juicy. Wow, that's juicy.
Yeah, man. No, yeah. The whole reason me and Dream's relationship fell apart is because he tried to get with my girlfriend.
Wow, that's juicy.
So that is the clip. Of course, within context, it's very clear that they're joking, they're laughing, they're having a bit of fun. Of course, there are things to criticize, like I have in this video. But, you know, as a whole, people know that are watching, know that this is a joke, that this is whatever. But of course, this has been cut out of context. Which is actually why I'm making this video. If it wasn't cut out of context and used maliciously to bash Dream, with loads of people going over to hate Dream, then realistically, I would not be covering this or talking about this whatsoever. It wouldn't really interest me because, yeah, although there are criticizable things there, as we've dived into within this video so far, realistically, you know, within the context, they're joking around, they're saying some unserious things, they're lying, they're joking, they're doing some dumb stuff, you know, within context, it makes sense. You know, somebody posted this clip without any context, you know, making it seem like there's some big drama or controversy going on, and this post online got nearly 500,000 views and over 100,000 likes. Of course, let's be realistic, right? Some of the people that have viewed this, left a like, shared it around, know completely the context of the episode because they've watched it. But bearing in mind, the episode only has 40,000 views, and this nearly has 500,000, thousands of shares. There are definitely people that have no idea the context and have spread this around because they think it's true. I love the way everyone thinks it's Ellie, but it's actually Nikki. Is Dream a bad person or no? Hello? No way Dream tried to go for Eleanor. Eleanor, get behind me, girl. And you know, those are just a few comments of people that genuinely believe that this is the case. So what they've said here is the truth, and this content creator is just liking them, love-hearting them, just like that is the case. Now, it is important to note and be transparent that 6 hours ago, this content creator then posted the full context onto their account. But of course, I'm betting you that you know probably what's going to come. This only has 100 likes and 6 likes on the original video. So, you know, that's not really doing justice. And look, this is definitely not entirely Jack Manifold and TommyInnit's fault. Definitely not just trying to blame them because, of course, this context was within the official podcast episode. My critique goes towards why they did it in the first place and how they handled it. And my critique's just there and how they are being heavily hypocritical. This also shows just how insane, malicious, and manipulative TommyInnit's audience truly are when it comes to stuff like this. things. They've got an innate bias and, you know, are completely against Dream with whatever they can find. Of course, it goes without saying, don't go your way to harass that TikTok in question who posted this clip without context. That is just completely unneeded and unnecessary. I don't know what's going on, but my understanding right now is Jack made a clear statement that what he was about to say was not true before saying this statement, and they seem to be discussing in general how to make viral clips. Perhaps a malevolent fan then purposely clipped it out of context to create drama, and let me guess, Twitter is brainlessly going insane over it. If that's correct, I don't blame Jack or Tommy for this causing drama. It is in bad taste to talk about a former friend Dream this way, but Tommy did specifically say he didn't want to be involved in this segment and refrained from joining in. Anyways, everyone just delete Twitter lol, don't waste your life on moron. I mean, yeah, whilst TommyInnit didn't join in, he did just kind of let it go ahead anyway. Danks did say, you know, we can change the topic or whatever. TommyInnit said, yeah, it's fine. The last thing I quickly want to talk about and read out has nothing to do with what we were just talking about. It still has everything to do with TommyInnit and Dream though. You remember the whole talking point that lots of TommyInnit's friends, including TommyInnit, were making jokes that Dream was a predator and kept levying that false accusation to use against him within jokes. Well, I think this is a pretty ironic thing now. Heckling. Just got back from the Perth show and I'm so embarrassed at the heckler screaming at Jack and Tommy. How do we let it get to the point where he had to ask us to stop calling them perverts and pedophiles? Come on guys, we're better than this. Which of course it goes without saying, if this is true, that is incredibly funny and ironic that they said, you know, stop, don't. We know you're joking, but please, can you not shout that at us? Can you not say that about us? Please do not. When, you know, TommyInnit and all his friends were making all those types of jokes against Dream, and so were his audience. But now when it happens to them in any capacity, no, please do not do that. And of course there is a little bit of difference because, you know, it's hecklers shouting it, but I find it very funny and, you know, I have no sympathy here, no sorrow whatsoever. So thank you everyone for yet again watching a brand new YouTube video. I'd be very interested to see what you have to say, so please feel free to leave a comment down below. And once you're done there, please suggest some topics to me if you want me to cover a topic that I haven't already. I would love to see your suggestions because I might even cover one of them. Once you're done there, you also might as well subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a future video. But I've been your host Samuel, and I will happily catch you in the next YouTube video. Goodbye.